Fungi introduction. Fungi can be defined as eukaryotic, achlorophyllous, unicellular or multicellular absorptive heterotrophic organisms in which plant body is thallus. Distinguishing features of fungi: they have definite cell wall made up of chitin, a biopolymer made up of N-acetyl-glucosamine units. They are without chlorophyll, hence they exhibit heterotrophic mode of nutrition. They may be saprotrophic in their mode of nutrition or parasitic or symbiotic. They are usually non-motile except the subdivision Mastigomycotina. Their storage product is not starch but glycogen and oil. They reproduce mostly by spore formation. However, sexual reproduction also takes place. General characters: they are cosmopolitan in distribution. They are heterotrophic in nature and do not prepare their own food. On the basis of mode of nutrition, they may be parasite feed on other living organisms, host saprophyte feed on dead organisms or matter. Symbionts form mutualistic relationship with other organisms such as lichens and mycorrhiza. The plant may be unicellular or filamentous. The filament is known as hypha and its entangled mass is called mycelium. The hyphae may be septate or aseptate. The septa between the cells may have different types of pores. Their cell wall is made up of chitin except oomycetes whose cell wall is made up of cellulose or glucan. The cells generally contain colorless protoplasm due to the absence of chlorophylls and nucleus and all membrane-bounded organelles. The cells are haploid, dikaryotic or diploid. Motile cells are not formed at any stage in all groups except oomycetes. In response to functional need, the fungal mycelia are modified into different types such as plectenchyma, stroma, rhizomorphs, sclerotium and haustorium. They reproduce by vegetative, asexual and sexual processes. Body structure. The body structure of fungi is unique. The somatic body of the fungus is unicellular or multicellular or coenocytic. When multicellular, it is composed of profusely branched interwoven, delicate, thread-like structures called hyphae, the whole mass collectively called mycelium. The hyphae are not divided into true cells. Instead, the protoplasm is either continuous or is interrupted at intervals by cross walls called septa which divide the hyphae into compartments similar to cells. Thus hyphae may be a septate hyphae without cross walls, or septate hyphae with cross walls. When a septate, they are coenocytic containing many nuclei. Each hypha has a thin rigid wall, whose chief component is chitin. Within the cytoplasm, the usual eukaryotic organelles are found such as mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes and vacuoles. In the older parts, vacuoles are large and cytoplasm is confined to a thin peripheral layer. Nutrition. Fungi are heterotrophic in their mode of nutrition, that is, they require an organic source of carbon. In addition, they require a source of nitrogen, usually organic substances such as amino acids. The nutrition of fungi can be described as absorptive because they absorb nutrients directly from outside their bodies. This is in contrast to animals which normally ingest food and then digest it within their bodies before absorption takes place. Fungi obtain their nutrients as saprotrophs, parasites or symbionts. Saprotrophs. A saprotroph is an organism that obtains its food from dead and decaying matter. It secretes enzymes onto the organic matter so that digestion is outside the organism. Soluble products of digestion are absorbed and assimilated within the body of the saprotroph. Saprotrophic fungi and bacteria constitute the decomposers and are essential in bringing about decay and recycling of nutrients. They produce humus from animal and plant remains. Humus, a part of soil, is a layer of decayed organic matter containing many nutrients. Some species of fungi secrete the enzyme cellulase which breaks down cellulose. Parasites. A parasite is an organism that lives in or on another organism, the host from which it obtains its food and shelter. Parasites which cause diseases are called pathogens. Some parasites can survive and grow only in living cells and are called biotrophs or obligate parasites. Others can infect their host and bring about its death and then live saprotrophically on the remains. They are called necrotrophs or facultative parasites. Fungal parasites may be facultative or obligate and more commonly attack plants than animals. The hyphae penetrate through stomata, or enter directly through the cuticle or epidermis or through wounds of plants. Inside the plant hosts, the hyphae branch, sometimes producing pectinases enzymes which digest the middle lamellae of the cell walls. Subsequently, the cells may be killed with the aid of toxins and cellulases which digest the cell walls. Obligate parasites often possess specialized penetration and absorption devices called haustoria. Each haustorium is a modified hyphal outgrowth with a large surface area which pushes into living cells without breaking their plasma membrane and without killing them. Symbiosis. Two important types of symbiotic union are made by fungi: lichens and mycorrhizae. Lichens, they are symbiotic association found between algae and fungi. The alga is usually a green alga or blue-green alga. The fungus is an ascomycete or basadiomycete. It is believed that the alga contributes organic food from photosynthesis and the fungus is able to absorb water and mineral salts. The fungus can also conserve water, and this enables some lichens to grow in extreme dry conditions where no other plants can exist. Mycorrhizae, these are symbiotic associations between a fungus partner and roots of higher plants. Most land plants enter into this kind of relationship with soil fungi. The fungus may form a sheath around the center of the root, an ectotrophic mycorrhiza, or may penetrate the host tissue, an endotrophic mycorrhiza. The former type is found in many forest trees such as conifers, beech and oak, and involve the fungi of the division Basadiomycetes. The fungus receives carbohydrates and vitamins from the tree and in return breaks down proteins of the soil humus to amino acids which can be absorbed and utilized by the plant. In addition, the fungus provides a greater surface area for absorption of ions such as phosphates. Classification. Traditionally, fungi have been regarded as plants. At one time, fungi were given the status of a class and together with the class algae formed the division Thallophyta of the plant kingdom. The Thallophyta were those plants whose bodies could be described as thalli. A thallus is a body, often flat, which is not differentiated into true roots, stem and leaves and lack a true vascular system. But now, fungi is treated as a separate kingdom and has been classified into 5 major phyla, which are following: I. Phylum Oomycota Pythium, Phytophthora, E. Phylum Ascomycota Penicillium, Saccharomyces, E. Phylum Basadiomycota Agaricus, Peccinia, IV. Phylum Zygomycota Mucor, Rhizopus, V. Phylum Deuteromycota Aspergillus, Alternaria. Economic importance. Fungi cause economic gains as well as losses. Economic gains: shocked face edible fungi. Certain fungi are edible such as mushroom, morels and truffles. However, some species of mushroom are also poisonous. Usage in food industry. Certain fungi are used in food industry because of their fermenting ability such as yeasts, Penicillium and Aspergillus. Antibiotics and drugs. Some fungi are source of antibiotics and some others are of drugs. Penicillin, first antibiotic discovered by Alexander Fleming in 1928, is obtained from Penicillium notatum. Cyclosporine is obtained from soil fungus, is used in organ transplantation for preventing transplant rejection. Dyes, some natural dyes obtained from lichens are used in textile industry. Economic losses, fungi are responsible for many serious plant diseases because they produce several enzymes that break cellulose, lignin and cutin. Extensive damage due to rusts and smut diseases of wheat, corn and rice promotes mass displacement, and starvation to death of many people. Plant diseases, powdery mildews on grapes, rose, wheat etc., ergot of rye, red rot of sugar cane, potato wilt, cotton root rot, apple scab and brown rot of peaches, plums, apricots and cherries. Rust and smut are some common plant diseases caused by fungi. Animal diseases, fungi cause certain animal diseases. However, ringworm and athlete's foot are superficial fungal infections caused by imperfect fungi. Ecological importance, fungi have great ecological impact. Decomposer and symbionts, they are very important decomposers and symbionts. Fungi along with saprobic bacteria play important role in recycling the nutrients in ecosystem. Mycorrhizal fungi. Mycorrhizal fungi improve the growth of plants with which they are associated. Lichens. Lichens is actually association between fungi and algae. Lichens are growing on rocks, break them and setting stage for other organisms during course of ecological succession. Bioindicators. Lichens are very good bioindicators of air quality as they are very sensitive to pollution. Bioremediation. Some fungi also used for bioremediation, degrading or removing environmental poisons, pollutants by organisms.